We are bright-eyed and bushy-tailed here at STS, and we are ready for the Inside STS episode. Andy, are you ready?
I'm ready. Welcome to Inside STS. This is the 12th try for Kait to do the intro.
On half a cup of coffee. Okay, all right. So, Andy, we're here to talk about the 5 and 50.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, how was the 5 and 50?
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, we're biased because we live here.
Yeah.
It's a Rushville thing, but it's a Rush County thing. It's important to know that Rushville does their part, but the county, there's so many people involved.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic.
Really come together as a community.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. So the 5 and 50 is a ride, not a race.
Yep. Yeah, that's one of the things I know. People kind of say, why would I come to the ride? Because it's just a ride. It's not a ride. It's a tour of Rush County.
Mm-hmm.
But I would just say, if you are someone who likes to go to races, come do this. I mean, it's absolutely worth it. Because there is a competitive aspect to this. There's Strava segments out there.
Yeah.
So if you want to go do stuff like that, I mean, it's not a full 50-mile race, but it's absolutely worth your time.
Well,
absolutely.
And you get to start in a parade.
Oh, and that's one of my favorite things. I know when it's really hot, which this year it wasn't.
No, this year it was beautiful.
Yeah. It started just a tad bit cool, and I was trying to decide, don't want to wear a jacket, don't want to wear arm sleeves, and right before we started, I had a shirt like this that I just wore down to the event. I took that off. I was fine. I didn't have to have shoe covers, nothing like that. And so the weather was perfect. But when it's really hot, one of the things that they offer for people is they can do the beat the heat start. And you can start the ride at 8 o'clock. Oh, really? Well, nobody needed to do that this year.
I actually didn't know that.
Oh, it's 47 degrees.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Well, it's 6:30. It was 47 degrees when I first went out there. But if you don't do that, and if anybody does this, I would encourage you, don't do the beat the heat start. I mean, unless you have to. I know medically people have things.
Yeah.
But
2 years ago, I just about
we
keeled over because I was not prepared for the day.
But you start the ride starts with the parade. There's a neutral start.
Yeah.
It's a little over 2 miles, I think.
Well, and you get to tour downtown, see all the cool businesses.
Well, there's people everywhere.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's your experience of riding in a big race. So like anybody and everybody. Because I know for the first half a mile, well, there's about a fourth of a mile. I got a GoPro in hand going downtown, and I was trying to ride up to kids, and something they thought that was cool. And I was behind the little dude and his dad, and he's on his little mountain bike. A little bitty mountain bike, almost BMX size.
Did he do the 50? Because there was one kid that did the 50.
Yeah, no, this kid, he turned off, and they did the 12.
Okay.
So, yeah. But it was, it's for anybody and everybody that can go and do it. But, yeah, you do a neutral start. You go right down the parade and because you start on 11th Street, and then the parade goes down Main Street, and you're talking a mile.
For 11th Street. Whoop, whoop, for 11th Street.
Yeah, she's weird. But you're talking about a mile of when there's people on the sides of the road. And then you get to downtown, it's just crammed full of people.
Yeah.
That is just the coolest thing to me. Because, start of the race is always fun. When you're at a race, there's nerves getting that starting gate. And this one's just real casual and cool. And they neutral start it. You get a sheriff's deputy that takes you out all the way out of town. Yeah. And it's just, if you do the ride, do the parade start. I
was going to say, speaking of getting out of town, Terry and I were in a really big hurry to get out of town, and the town was not in a big hurry to let us out. No. Well, we got caught behind every single...
Yeah, there's 2 quarters to get out.
Yeah.
And you guys would have been better off going...
Oh, yeah.
Going to Shelbyville and around.
Yeah, every way that we picked, it was the wrong direction.
Yeah.
So speaking of, the neutral start and seeing the Rush County. The Rush County. We're like Ohio State. Yeah. So as far as seeing Rush County, there's actually quite a few SAG stops.
And in terms of like a community thing, with all communities, everybody has their competitions between, and with us, there's little bitty towns, little bitty schools. But this is one of those things that brings everybody together, and they have a bunch of different groups that do the SAG stops. Now, at a race, you're not going to see as many SAG stops. There's another local tour, and I don't want to badmouth them because I don't think they do anything wrong, but they don't have anywhere near as much support as what our ride does.
Yeah. I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. It's just south of us. They do a fantastic job.
Yeah.
But if you're used to doing this and you go do that, then
it's a little different.
Yeah. But this is so there's 7 SAG stops in 50 miles. Mm-hmm. Now, the first...
Five bridges.
5 bridges, 7 SAGs, and it's like 53 miles. But there's a lot of people that skip the first one. Yeah. Because it's only 10 miles in.
Well, and that's what I was getting ready to say. Like, as we were kind of going on this progression with you with the bikes, it was like, first one was 10 miles out. The second one was, what?
Like another 9.
Yeah, like just almost less than 10 miles past the first SAG, and then it's like every 5 miles from there.
Yeah, almost. And the thing that kind of stinks for the Milroy people, that's the first one, is they do a great job. Yeah. They really do a great job. Everybody does. But the Milroy people will get skipped. Yeah. And then the Moscow, which is the second one, which is a really cool bridge, they get it. Everybody stops there because that's almost like a halfway point. Yeah. And it makes sense to stop there. Yeah. But yeah, Milroy, everybody does a great job, and 7 stops along the way. So it's really good for people who want to just challenge themselves. They're not used to doing this, so being able to go, I know I got people who can help me. Yeah. Well, and I mean,
whether you're just doing it for fun or whether you're, a rather experienced cyclist, there was tons of cycling groups.
Yeah. Oh, we get club. There's a couple of clubs from Indy that come down. A couple of years ago, there was a sizable group of roll fast guys that came down, and they came down to try to steal some KOMs from Steve Hirschberger. Unfortunately, they're still out there,
There's your aspect of competition.
Yeah. Yeah, Steve went out and I think he had an attitude and set some KOMs
That's not surprising.
But, yeah, but no, yeah, we do get some clubs in. There's some really cool clubs that come in. But yeah, they'll get into going out there and seeing how fast they can do a 50. Yeah. So it's yeah.
So, Andy, with this being a ride and not necessarily a specified race, even though there is a competitive aspect to it, what was your opinion of the road markings and general sense of direction?
Yeah, ride? Dave Wilkie actually is the guy that originated the race, and he comes down to do all the markings. And it took him a couple days because I went out and rode one day, and there was some paint on the road. And then I saw Dave a couple of days later, and he's like, yeah, I got to finish painting the road. And I'm like, oh, you don't do it? And well, yeah, it's a lot to do. And I was at an event a few years ago, and the GPS that you can get off the website said that you turned on, let's say 600, and the road marking said 700. So all of us that had GPS on the bike were wanting to turn, and then, peer pressure, I went with everybody else. But it was, county roads, Indiana, you end up at the same spot. But, and those kind of things happen. I know Morgan was at a race this year where the GPS, there was a mistake on the Wahoo, or getting her new Wahoo. So that doesn't happen. But this is marked really well. Dave does a good job of giving you time to see the paint on the road. He marks it in 3 spots. That way, it's not just one mark on the side. And when there's traffic, we had sheriff's deputies out there that were blocking the highway. That doesn't always happen with places. Sometimes, they expect you to stop on the highway and wait. But every time we went over a highway, they were blocking traffic. It's just fantastic. I mean, there was no hint of
full community involvement then.
Yeah. I mean, and you couldn't get lost. You could. But anybody else would not get lost. That's that again.
So, Andy, you had a couple of accomplices this weekend.
Yeah. Jarrett Gaines, who's related to you by marriage, related to Terry. He just moved back to Indiana. This is something they've come back from Colorado before to ride. Yeah. And I got talking to him, and he was looking for someone to ride with, and so I texted him, said I was doing it, and he hadn't signed up yet, so he signed up to ride. And then so I was kind of planning on riding with Jared a little bit. And then when we got there, Robert Schweier, who he's bought a bike from us recently. I saw Robert, started talking to Robert, and then we just started, and he's like, you guys mind if we ride? Yeah, ride with us. Let's have a good time. Yeah. So yeah, it was nice having people to talk to and getting to know Robert a little bit better, talking with Jared. And if you don't know Robert, hopefully we'll do some stuff on him. He's lost 100 pounds. I've lost almost 30, which doesn't mean anything now that Robert's lost 100. So
You've been one-upped.
Yeah, by a lot. But no, he's done it,
Almost 3.
And he's out there riding 30 miles a day, 60, 70 on the weekends. So he's doing a great job of being healthy.
Yeah.
And it was just cool being with 3 guys that are trying to do positive things in their life. And it was a good time having riding buddies with you.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, speaking of Jared and Robert, they kind of showed up in the comparison video that we've done.
Yeah, we did.
Tell us a little bit about that.
That came out last night.
Yeah, I proofed it yesterday.
Yeah. So we filmed a video about how to choose your STS bike, where we compared 4 bikes, and so I actually ended up riding.
One of my favorite videos to date, I think. By the way,
it was fun.
It was a fun video to make.
Kate got to follow me around and meet me and make fun of me.
I got to listen to Terry bully shit every stop.
That was fun too. But yeah, so check that one out. That went out last night as to differences between the bikes, kind of bike setup for me, between the Explorer Adventure, because I ride Adventure all the time, and got to spend some time on a killer and a road bike, and but yeah, Jared's on the Adventure, and then Robert's on his, and he's got the more bike packing steel fork kind of bike.
Jared was on the Explorer. Was it an Adventure?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. Oops.
Yeah, because he was going to do bike packing originally. So,
okay.
But yeah, that's a fun little video, and Kate likes it.
Yeah, it was really fun to make. I had a good time making it. Yeah. So, Andy, I know you did some training and preparation for this. Is there anything fun that you want to share regarding your training and kind of the ride in general?
Well, in terms of training, we did dry January, and I was going to train and do some stuff this year, and then my hamstring started bothering me. So I thought I had a hamstring issue, and with hamstrings, you have to rest. And so I tried for a couple of months to try to be able to do something. Then I finally decided you got to rest. And then it just didn't get any better. And then I got talking to Matt Tanner, and he was telling me that, no, you said you have an imbalance. So he gave me exercises to do, and all of a sudden I was able to ride again. So I started in July, just trying to get on the bike and get going. And I'm somebody that, back when I was a golf pro, I didn't want to do GPS. I did not want to have any of that. I want to just go step it off, old school.
Repelling technology.
Yeah. Oh, that's kind of
repelling advancements.
I was the last person I know to get a smartphone. I miss my flip phone.
They still make them, by the way.
I know. I need to get.
There's one. If you go in the Verizon store, I got a new phone recently.
They laugh at you.
There's like one up in the corner, and they hide it behind a box or something.
Well, they laugh at me every time I ask about it. But anyway, but no, I've always been someone who's like, I just go right. I don't claim to be fast. That's not my goal. I just want to try to be healthy. But knowing I wanted to do the 5 and 50, and I had July and August to start doing training, I went, okay, now what are the things that I have heard Morgan say, I've heard Matt say, I've heard Steve say, and other people as well that we talked to that are racers, Thor.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let's try to listen and do some actual training things, doing some interval training. And I didn't do a bunch, but I got to a point where I felt like, okay, I could comfortable. I was doing 10 to 15 mile training rides with intervals in there. I thought, okay, I can get through doing the video filming because that's 30 miles. But actually, all of that I was able to do, I felt really strong.
Well, yeah, and you completed the full 50
easily.
Yeah.
Except for the last 100 meters. I was
100 miles. I was gonna say what?
Last 100 meters, I was toast. So. But other than that, it was good.
So, Andy, do you have any fun stories from the day?
Yeah, that's one of my things. Do I have a good story?
You always have it. Never short on good stories.
I don't stop talking. But no, from my days of being a golf pro, people always said if you hit one good shot, you'll come back. And I always said that's not true if you get one good story. If you got one good story that you can sit around and tell, then you're like interested to go back and do it again. And I think the same thing with doing a cycling event, a bike race. I think that applies. So for me, it was, it really came down to teamwork, because I can talk about it and say, look how amazing I was, but really it was the 3 of us guys out there working together. Yeah. Because we got to 30 miles and I was toast. And I heard Jared say, "Come on, Andy, let's go." I was ready to get in the truck with you and Terry.
Yeah, you kind of tell.
So I was like, okay, Jared wants to go, I'll go. And he goes, hey, now that you've done this, because he knew I hadn't been up to 50 miles yet. He goes, hey, since you've gone this far, you'll be able to finish, no problem. So I'm thinking, that's fine. If that's the way that you think that it is, you're going to pull me. So we started leaving Homer. I sat right on his wheel, and we got up to speed, and then we got into a wind, and I kind of felt guilty about that. So the three of us kind of spent some time together and rotating around a little bit. We get past the next highway, and that little town where we had to slow down a little bit, and we get on the road going to where we turn it directly into the wind. And I just, for some reason, just out of natural habit, I got in front of Jared, and so I'm like, I'm going to block the wind for him. We turned directly into the wind, not a big wind, but we turned directly into the wind, and I thought, okay, I'm going to do what I can. Riding on that road into the wind, I thought I was toast. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to look back and see what I expected to see was Jared sitting up and kind of bored with how slow I was going. And what it was is he was sitting right on my wheel. So we get going for a while into the wind, and he goes, man, you're riding good. I wouldn't be going as hard if it wasn't for you pulling me. And I was like, man, it made me feel good. Yeah. And then I got all jacked about how much I was helping somebody. So from then, it was easy to go. Yeah. And, to me,
it got you through that mental block.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I started thinking about the fact that, there were other times to where that, up until that 30 miles, a couple of times I was tired. And I, found my way to sit on somebody else's wheel. Yeah. And they give you that break, and it helped. And to me, that was the thing. You're talking about Robert, who had lost a lot of weight, who's trying to be healthy, and Jared, who, he's a guy that tries to be healthy as well. We were supporting each other, pushing each other, and then, helping by blocking the wind. Yeah. It just was such a positive day. And so no major accomplishment, like there was one hill that I passed a guy on a very expensive bike, very expensive carbon fiber bike, and here I am on a gravel bike. I passed Jared too on the same hill.
That's funny.
And I was cocky about it for no reason.
Per usual, anyway, I think.
Yeah, that's me. But really, the whole day was about, we're with a guy who's trying something new, and Robert, and we were supporting him and getting to know him, and Jared was helping me, and I helped him. Just being such a positive day. So much negativity in the world. Yeah. That everything was fun, everything was positive, and I can't wait to do another. I can't wait to do the 550 again.
Well, I was going to say, and you have another race actually coming up here.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to try a race.
Not too long from now.
Yeah, I got to go train today.
So, Andy, how does this, how does the 5 and 50 compare to other events that that you've been to?
Well, we, as STS, go all over the country. We, in our local, we spend a lot of time in Indiana and Michigan. But as STS, as a company, we go Gravel Worlds, we go to BWR, we've been to Vermont, Colorado, Arizona. We go all over. And, in terms of an event, I got to tell you, I kind of feel inspired by Deion Sanders. We're good. And it's not us. The most important thing about this is not STS's ride. Yeah. The Rush County United Fund puts this on. Dave Wilkie started this. The city of Rushville helps out a ton of people from the county. There's tons of volunteers. 7 SAG stops. There's people everywhere. There's sheriff's deputies. This is a civic pride thing, and we're freaking awesome. And David, I don't know which way he wants to be called, but Dave Wilkie, thank you for having the vision to fight for this, to push for this. All the people who were on the committee that were there. I stopped out at the event because we were filming some other stuff at 6:30 in the morning. They were already kicking, man. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on. So there's a lot of people to thank. This is not an STS ride. It's a Rush County thing, Rush County United Fund. We're freaking pretty good at it. That's what it is. So you want to go do a race? It's not a race, but people come to Rushville, to Rush County, to see our bridges and experience this ride, and you're gonna meet cool people. Every time we turn around, every time we talk to people at this thing, there's always cool stories about why they're doing what they're doing. Yeah. And I'd put what we've done, we meaning those people. Yeah. Because all we did is participate this year, and we tried to help a few people with repairs. Yeah. But honestly, showcase of beautiful landscape, wonderful people. Yeah, pretty freaking awesome.
Well, and it's a community and and county centered focus. I mean, it's very.
Yep.
Like, you get to know some really awesome people through the process.
Yeah, and it's. I mean, I can't say enough about the event. It's really damn good. And so if you're looking for something to put on your calendar for next year, and you're like, I want to do a fun thing, I want to go see something interesting, it's really good. The one thing I would tell you though, get a gravel bike.
The chip and seal.
Come and see, yeah.
Rush County chip and seal.
There's some bumpy, and I'm just telling you, I've ridden it on a road bike, I've ridden it on carbon, I've ridden on steel road, I've ridden on aluminum steel. I'm telling you.
Aluminum steel.
I've ridden on an aluminum road bike, a carbon road bike, a steel road bike. I'm telling you, nothing beats a steel gravel bike for the roads around here, because you're going to get different conditions. There's smooth asphalt. Mm-hmm. You get on 244, it's smooth as glass. There's chip and seal roads, and then there was one section that was brand new chip and seal.
Might as well be full on gravel.
Yeah. And I rode the killer on that one. I was flying.
It was made for it.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. But no, the event is great, and there's no judgment. I mean, we saw you see people out on mountain bikes that are just out cruising. There's city bikes. There's e-bikes. It's a great place to go spend some time.
There's ellipticycles.
There's what?
Yeah, they're called ellipticycles. It's like an elliptical on wheels.
Was there one of those? Yeah.
There's two of them.
I did not see those.
Yeah.
There's one guy on a recumbent.
Oh, I did see one recumbent.
Yeah, I saw him stuck on the side of a hill. I felt bad for him, man.
No.
Because I was...
Poor guy.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry.
Anyway, we saw horse and buggy, too, so...
You see a lot of those and a lot of what I call road apples. Don't eat them.
No, it's a...
You know,
non-good
chunky surprise.
But no, that's pretty... I would say we compare pretty well with... and I'd say... For an opportunity, we saw experienced cyclists who come up to experience the event and go to see the countryside and the bridges. From those types of cyclists to people who are challenging themselves, people who hardly ever ride, like, I'm going to go do this. All kinds of people. It's worth it. It's fantastic. You got to come check it out.
Awesome.
We good?
Yeah. Andy, thank you so much, for your time this morning. And congratulations for exploring confidently.
Well, thank you. We'll see you next time.
See you.